Welcome back to Whiskey with E. I'm Eric. Now today we have a very special episode. We are doing a whiskey without the E. You know, I know what you're thinking. Scotch. No. But very similar. Hold on. Let me just grab it for you. Teleporting it all the way from down under. Down under. Tasmania. Let's grab it. Hold on. We did it. All the way from Tasmania. Magic. Alrighties, we have a product coming out of Old KEMPTON Distillery. Can you guys see that? Alrighties, now this is a single malt whiskey, handcrafted. So this release of theirs is called the Old Stables, coming in at 40.5% alcohol per volume. Now, someone gave me this sample. Shout out to him. I mean, I gave him a little sample of some wild turkey and he chucked me this, so he knows who he is. He even got me onto the whiskey list here in Australia. There you go. But anyways, thank you to this man. I mean, he does like his Australian whiskies, and at the time I was just only starting to try some different ones, so I was really excited to get this. That was a few months ago. Now I'm going to get it open. Alrighties, now let's have a look at this wax seal of theirs. Look how awesome this bottle is to begin with. Alright, so it comes in a square bottle like so. Oops, sorry about the focusing. Alright, let's get it open. I don't even know how this opens. Here we go. Alrighties, so I've never tried anything from the Old KEMPTON Distillery. Now I do have another bottle here that I got. Now this is the pinot cask. Now this, I believe, the one that we're trying today, right now, the Old Stables, is a combination that they use like 100 litre ex pinot cask, and they use 100 litre ex cherry cask to create this blend. So without further ado, let's crack it open. Here we go. Such a cute little bottle. Oh, isn't it just so cool? That's why I really didn't want to open it, but technically today, this beautiful Thursday, I thought, you know what, I kind of want to try the Monte Cristo Petit Edmundo. So you know what, I thought I may as well get a taste of this first, and then I'd like to try some with the cigar just to see how much better it is or if it's different. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Let me put this up here somewhere. Alrighties, hopefully that doesn't fall down. Alrighties, the color is relatively light. Now I hear that this is unchill filtered, which is very good of them because it's only 40.5%. so I'm assuming it's all natural color, guys. Everything in Australia feels pretty natural, maybe apart from some rums, but I mean the color looks good. It's a really golden type of yellow. I'm not going to say it's like a dark and copper like a bourbon or something, but reminds me of like a scotch, just a little bit yellow, a bit golden. But you know what, let's have a little look here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean the legs aren't just dripping down quickly straight away, so you know there may be some oiliness in this. I mean the whole unchill filtered side of things is really giving me hope, but let's first impression, nose it, let's go. Oh, okay. First impression, straight off the bat, this reminds me of like a scotch, like a Highland scotch. You know, you are getting like slight apples, slight pears. You know, you're almost getting an impression of like some vanilla, some caramels, you know. But it is more bright and fruity, which just reminds me of like a Highland scotch. I mean, I'm not going to say heading towards Speyside, you know, that's going to be more like the green apples vibes. This is that Highland vibe, you know, it's got that vanilla, the caramels, and you got that pears, or, you know, it's almost more like fresh apples, not like the that confectionery green apple note that we get in some Speysides. Oh, you know what? It knows it's beautiful. It knows it's beautiful. But the price here in Australia for Australian whiskey obviously is very high for everyone that knows. I mean, this, for example, coming in a 500ml bottle, retails for over $200. So I'll have to find the receipt. I think the receipt's probably sitting in the box, but yeah, I'm thinking it's around 200. So I didn't get to check to see what Old Stables retails for. I mean, if I looked it up and I found out that it was hard to find, maybe I would probably not convince myself to try it right now. But like I say, guys, we do have to try things, but obviously, you know, when I buy things or when I get given things, I don't crack it straight away. I put it away, and, you know, maybe a few years later I'll feel like trying it. You know, this is always a good thing. I mean, shout out to Ralphie, Ralphie.com. He's the OG of whiskey reviewers. Let's just say he brought a very interesting point across, which, you know, pretty much shoots out to the point of drink responsibly, guys. I mean, the whole society out there in the world, it's like we're desensitized. Our Australian culture is about having beers after work, or going to lunch and going to have some beers, or, you know, it's just, we're desensitized to it. But can we control ourselves to not finish a bottle? Can we, you know, he's trying to say he will most likely keep this, you know, he was talking about a certain bottle, he'll keep it for at least 5 years, you know, and my New Year's resolution was to be able to crack a bottle, and hopefully I will not finish it in this year, which is very hard. But anyways, back to this whiskey. Alrighties, so now that I've talked some poopies for a bit and given it a little bit more time to open up, I'm gonna have it go back to the nose again real quick. Yeah, definitely, when I say it reminds me of a Scotch, I mean, if I poured this up for you and I didn't tell you what it was, you'd be thinking, what is this, like a Highland Park or something? But just with less peaty notes, if not any peaty notes at all. It's the Scotch without the peat. But if you are digging, you can get like a slight, it's almost like peat, but I'm thinking it's more like malty or something like that. You know, if it went any further, it could almost head into biscuity, but it's not heading that direction. That's why I'm saying Highland styles. But you know what, without more blabbering to do, first sip, first impressions. Cheers everyone, drink responsibly. Who's tried products coming out of Old KEMPTON Distillery, coming out of Tasmania? Let me know, guys. Cheers everyone. Okay. Keep in mind, I have been enjoying bourbon, the Wild Turkey 12 year, and that's at 50%. Yeah, 50.5. All right. This to me just drinks really easy, but don't get it twisted. It's not like, if you're comparing something to like a very budget 40% Scotch, then that's going to have a lot of ethanol spikes or bites, you know. Even though it's just 40%, you might get like a prickle heat, you know. But this is, it's a very easy drinking dram. You know what, I gotta go for a second one. It kind of caught me off guard. I didn't know what to expect. Second sip. I mean, it's not too sweet. You can almost say like sweet and sour. That's what I mean. It's really heading towards a Scotch vibe. Okay, at the back palate, you are getting essences of what you'd normally get, you know, from something that has been aged in X fortified wine. You know, like it's like you could almost say it's kind of like raisins or some kind of like a red fruit, but yeah, but to me it's just really like a Highland Scotch. There you go. But Tasmania, how did Australian whiskey was born to begin with? If people know, people know. But if you don't, then Bill Lark from Lark, he was the man who started it all, but he got assistance from Scotland. So all the techniques learnt from, I believe, maybe Glenn Farkless, or it's a big backstory, but let's just say if it wasn't for the helping hand of Scotland, helping Mr. Bill Lark out, and if it wasn't for Bill, then we probably wouldn't have Australian whiskey here till this day. So it is very interesting to see how similar Australian whiskey is to Scotch. I mean, they even spell it without the E. There you go. Very similar. But yeah, obviously the finish is not going to be overly long. It's only 40.5%, guys, but it isn't just watery. You get this element of like an oily element, but it's easy drinking. I mean, like, I don't mind it, but you know me, in the bourbon world, I'm a proof hound, so I believe maybe I would like Old KEMPTON Distillery more if I tried their barrel proof or their cask strength releases. So you know, that being said, did I enjoy this? Yes, I enjoyed it. It's always good to enjoy something new, and it's always good to try something before you try it with a cigar. So now that I know it tastes like a Scotch, I'm already anticipating that maybe it's going to start tasting like a coffee with the cigar. But that will be in the next video, so tune in next time to see me try my first Monte Cristo Petit Edmundo, pairing it with this, and possibly pairing it with some bourbons and whatever else I feel like pairing with it. I mean, you know, I don't edit, so I might have to pause from time to time to save the time, but tune in soon, guys. All right, last final thoughts. Let's finish this little glass and break it down. Yeah, it's almost like you gotta dig, guys, behind that, what you would read as Highland Scotch vibes. You know, you're gonna dig deep, and then you're gonna find those little subtle red fruit kind of vibes, obviously from the fortified wine cask. But you know, it's just not spectacular, that's all. I mean, it's nice, it's but I didn't check the price. Maybe the price isn't nice, but if you guys know what this retails for, let me know in the comments, because you know, the value to ratio of should I buy it wise here in Australia is not good, especially for Australian whiskey. You think that buying bourbons is expensive here in Australia, and that maybe our own whiskies would be cheaper to buy instead of having to get it sent from another country. No, Australian whiskey more expensive, plus you get less than the 700 mils that Americans probably feel you're already getting ripped off 50 mils, right? So imagine being here and seeing bottles at 500 mils. So you wonder why so many Australians haven't even got the opportunity to even try any Australian whiskies, because of this. But anyways, we're not here to discuss too much shit. Sorry, French came out. I'm just here to share my thoughts on this right before I try it with a cigar. So here we go, final sip. Oh, I mean, that sip was even more approachable than the last one. I think this may be one of those drams that as you're sipping it, it's probably going to get a lot more approachable, you know. I hope it's not as in going approachable as in just feeling flatter and flatter or something, but that was the end of the glass. Benefit of the doubt, benefit of the doubt. But anyway, guys, like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you all next time. We'll just end this now before something else happens. All right, guys. See you all next time. Drink responsibly, all.